Hi everyone, yeah, Zach the Markmaker here, and today we are going to talk about evaluating a man's financial capabilities to see if he's financially stable. Now, normally, when a man approaches a woman, the way a woman can evaluate a man's financial stability is by seeing the kind of watch they're putting on, the kind of belt, type of shoe, the kind of phone they're holding. That is the first outlook. Another thing they look at is whether you're driving or not, and probably if they come to your house, they check what is in the house and all that. But in most times, in most cases, they ask, where do you work and what do you do? Now, normally, uh, I've realized that women fear asking men, frankly, that how much do you earn per month? What is your income per month? And by the way, this question is not a bad question to ask a man, because we all know it is important to know a man's financial capability, because you're going to marry him and finances are very important in a marriage. Now, what women do, they normally ask that, where do you work? If you work in a bank, then probably they can see whether there is something that probably they can estimate the kind of money that you earn a month. Now, the most men that women have regretted leaving, they are businessmen. And these are the most despised men in the whole world. You can do your research, more so if they are in their initial stages. Now, these are men that are turned down because even if you go and tell your mother that I have a man, he's dating me, your mother is going to ask you, where does he work? You don't say he works in a bank, he works with the government, he works with what? And you say he's a businessman. Now, if this man doesn't have a big business, a lot of women turn down that man. Now, this is what happens. It is really hard to evaluate the financial capabilities of a businessman. And that is why the most men that women have regretted leaving because of their finances, they're the businessmen. They're not the salary earners, because if you're earning salary, probably your salary will change after so many years. But business, in 1 year, someone can triple, can go to six figures, in a period of 6 months or 1 year. Though that is for business. But now, because women fear to approach men and ask them in a detailed explanation, how much do you earn a month and where do you plan to, where do you see yourselves? And by the way, women are no longer asking these questions because we know we are in the generation where you will only find few women who are going to date a man for their vision, for their good ideas, for the ideas of a big business and all that. No, they want what they see, and that's the narrative that is going on. But so that's why businessmen are always dumped, because they don't work with a big company, they don't work, but probably they own their own company or they dream of starting their own company. Now, these men are always dumped or rejected because a woman cannot analyze that, he's not a banker, he's not a teacher, he's not an engineer, he's not a what. So they reject those proposals. But let me tell you something. Asking a man his dream, his ideas is something that is important, because you're going to miss a man and regret after trying maybe to be like, okay, let me wait for him to get rich, or let me find another better man. Another thing is, stop dating alone. Like when you're talking to someone, get trusted friends, get elderly people, try to talk to them. Now, another problem is that when ladies are dating, they don't want to talk to their parents or their fathers about the man they are dating. They want to complete the vetting process, the analyzing process, then they take the man to the father. They can't even invite a man that, you're dating me, but I would like you to have a discussion with my parent, with my father. Come and meet my father and have a discussion, a man-to-man talk, because let me tell you, your father is wiser than you. I don't care if you dislike your father or you hate your father. I don't know. If you don't have a father, get an elder in church. Let them meet this man that is talking to you for an extensive interview, for asking them who they are, because you're going to miss a man who would have been an amazing man in the future because you failed to evaluate him and you wanted to date him in the background. Because taking a man to have a chat with your father, that doesn't mean that you're going to marry that man right away, or your father is going to force you to marry that man. But this is to help you beyond what you can see. You know, it's very normal that you're not able to clearly see this man's vision. But if you take this man to your father, if you take him to an elderly person who is your friend, and they talk to them, they will be able to evaluate this man and say, according to what I see, according to the plans he has, this will be a good man, and probably he can be able to sustain the financial needs of a family. So stop looking at someone, how they dress, how they look like, and be like, okay, this is a poor man. More so for businessmen. Because I tell you this, and you can check around, the most rejected men were the businessmen when they were starting. Leave alone the employed people, probably, maybe they were jobless. But I'm talking about people who are doing something, but you cannot understand it. You cannot be able to understand how big it is or how big it can be. You get the point? And then in the future, because for you are not able to understand it. I know women don't like to talk about this, but a lot of women out there are regretting to leave amazing men because of the issue of finance. Me, I'm going to talk about it because I know a lot of women there fear to talk about this, who jumped over with someone who is seemingly okay and then realizing all of a sudden things crash. Because another thing that disturbs women when it comes to businessmen is that women prefer what they see at the moment. And another thing is, in business, there is always up and down. You know, I've been a businessman for the past over 13 years. I've been in business. And sometimes, even when low times come, I'm always okay. Like, I don't even be scared, because I mean, you've been there before, and you know, yeah, this came because of this challenge. Maybe the inflation is high, maybe because of this, you know, maybe because of this condition in the country, business is low. But you are sure that business will pick up again, you know. But this is really a huge challenge. So businessmen go broke and get money, you know. Salary earners, it's constant unless they are chased from their job, you know. So learn how to evaluate a businessman, because I mean, how many men are you going to reject because you are fearing maybe they're not financially stable, but probably these men are doing something that you are just not able to see with your eyes. But if you get someone who is more knowledgeable than you, can be able to sit down with this man and evaluate them and give you a clear picture and assurance that, you know, this man is doing this, but in the future, this is what can possibly come out. And most of all, have faith in God, because I mean, yes, we have testimonies of those who have married rich people and they stay rich forever and they enjoy the money. We have those who have married rich people and they lose the money. We have those who have married businessmen when they are just starting and they accumulate wealth together and they live a good life. So have faith in God. Understand that God is there to help you. You know, God is there to guide you when you pray. So stop the anxiety, stop fearing and like, you know, what if I marry this man and he doesn't get rich? I mean, you don't know the future and you're not God, you know, because there's things of like saying, what if I marry him when he's poor and he gets rich? So you're sure that when you marry a rich person, he will not go broke? Hey, young lady, are you sure? Like when you marry a rich person, he's not going to go broke. So you leave all the poor people. I mean, you don't build a man and all that, you know. In my next video, I'm going to explain this in a more detailed way, because I'm realizing this is something that is rampant. No one wants to understand deeply. But learn to ask these questions freely. It's not a sin to ask a man, what are you doing? How are you planning to sustain yourself in the future, now and whatever, so that you can understand well. Get help where you need help. Zach the Matchmaker, God bless you.